It's already in mark. Go.
Hey, adrenaline junkies. Welcome to Police Chase. Today, we're launching a brand new series, When People Mess with the Wrong Cops. Every reckless decision sparks an immediate response, and justice wastes no time. Let's dive in.
And the city is terminating.
At 2:30 p.m. in Fond du Lac County, deputies were on routine patrol when they spotted Charles Brown Jr. and attempted to stop him. Brown immediately accelerated away, turning a traffic stop into a high-speed pursuit.
Was City able to identify the driver?
Deputies followed as speeds climbed, and dispatch tracked the route. Brown cuts onto County B and continues passing traffic at dangerous speeds. With civilian vehicles and narrow roads ahead, deputies balance containment against the risk of letting him escape.
Sure, 156.
156.
Confirming I approve spikes, and I'll be heading to...
City believes there's a Charles Brown in the vehicle. 1032 history.
The pursuit pushes deeper into rural roads. Deputies prepare a tire deflation device, a controlled tactic designed to reduce the fleeing vehicle's ability to continue at dangerous speeds. A deputy steps into position and deploys the spike strip. The tires are struck, giving officers a chance to slow the vehicle without using a more forceful intervention. Brown turns onto gravel, kicking up dust and reducing visibility. The changing surface makes the pursuit even less predictable.
I got him with spikes. Just hit approved.
You just hit the turn around on stop on 151. Set up the first cell one coming up to 45.
Copy, southbound coming up to 45.
The damaged tires begin smoking as Brown struggles to maintain control. Even on the rims, he keeps moving until deputies contain him on Highway 151. Then Brown abandons the vehicle and runs. The encounter instantly shifts from a vehicle pursuit to a foot pursuit.
Just south of there, trooper.
Copy. He's slowing down. 45 just north of me.
And the city is terminating.
An officer advances with a rifle as Brown disappears into dense corn. Establishing a perimeter here is critical. Officers must contain the suspect while limiting unnecessary exposure in terrain where visibility is almost non-existent. The search moves overhead. A drone scans the massive field, giving deputies a perspective they cannot get from the ground. Once Brown's position is identified, ground units converge and take him into custody. The coordinated use of aerial surveillance and a controlled perimeter brings the search to an end. Brown, 40, now faces 9 counts, including 2 felony fleeing charges, reckless endangerment, 4 felony bail jumping counts, and 2 counts of resisting or obstructing an officer. He remains jailed on a $100,000 cash bond, with a preliminary hearing scheduled for August 31. In Vero Beach, An officer approaches Christopher Baptist during what appears to be a routine traffic stop. His hands are visible, and the encounter initially remains controlled. The officer explains that the vehicle is tied to a suspended license and plate. Baptist claims he did not know about the violations.
And you have a valid Florida driver's license?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just so you know, there's two reasons for a stop. One is your uncle who's registered owner, his license is suspended. So that gives us reasonable suspicion for the stop, but also the license plate's suspended. So that's another reason for the stop, okay?
And he didn't tell me that.
Okay, that's fine. As long as your license is valid and everything, I'll get you right out of here, okay?
Yes, sir.
Man, just hang tight in the car for me. I'm just going to check your license, make sure you're valid, and I'll get you out of here, okay?
Yes, sir.
The officer orders Baptist to remain inside while he checks the paperwork, then starts walking back toward his cruiser. The moment the officer turns away, Baptist accelerates and flees. The officer immediately runs for his cruiser and gives chase.
22-6 information vehicles fleeing. His speeds are excess 100.
The pursuit rapidly escalates, with speeds reportedly exceeding 100 miles per hour. At this point, officers must balance apprehension against the danger Baptist creates for everyone else on the road. The chase ends when Baptist crashes into heavy brush. The open driver's door confirms he has abandoned the vehicle and continued on foot. A K-9 team moves immediately toward the nearby brush. Using a trained tracking dog allows officers to search dense cover while reducing the need to send multiple officers blindly into the area.
Hey, parking him! Parking that man! Put your hands up! I got him. Just...
The K-9 locates Baptist and pulls him from the vegetation. The handler moves in to control the dog as officers close on the suspect. Officers pin Baptist down and secure his hands while the K-9 is pulled away. Once physical control is established, the priority shifts from apprehension to restraint and medical assessment. Baptist, 32, faces charges including high-speed fleeing, speeding more than 50 miles over the limit, false identification, resisting, leaving a crash, driving, suspended, drug possession, paraphernalia possession, and a felony probation violation.
It's already in park. Go.
Stop!
Around 4:30 p.m. in Covington, Georgia, an officer stops a vehicle connected to a Walmart shoplifting investigation. The officer tells the driver to put the car in park. Seconds later, the vehicle accelerates, catching the officer at the window and dragging him as he orders the driver to stop.
It's already in park. Go.
Stop!
Put it in your park.
It's already in park.
It's already in park. Go.
Stop! Stop!
The officer loses his grip and crashes onto the roadway while the vehicle continues away. The traffic stop has now become a violent assault and fleeing investigation.
He went that way.
On the pavement, the officer struggles to breathe and appears badly shaken by the impact. His immediate priority is no longer the fleeing vehicle, but getting enough air to communicate. Despite the pain, he reaches for equipment, scattered during the struggle, and points toward the direction the suspect fled. He is still holding the driver's license, giving investigators a critical piece of identification. Backup reaches the injured officer and begins assessing him, while he repeatedly reports that he cannot breathe. At the same time, officers begin working to establish where the fleeing driver went. Officers recover the driver's license from the roadway and preserve it as evidence. The fleeing suspect is now identified, giving investigators a direct lead for the search. Investigators eventually located 19-year-old Destiny Riggins at an apartment complex and arrested her without further incident. The officer was treated at Grady Memorial Hospital for bumps, bruises, and scrapes, and later released to recover at home. Riggins faces felony allegations, including aggravated assault on a police officer, fleeing or attempting to elude, and shoplifting. Later reports also identified an alleged stolen handgun and additional weapons-related charges. On the 5th of August 2026, near Truman, Arkansas, Trooper Logan Hall moves into pursuit of a Hyundai traveling far above the 75 miles per hour limit. The gap closes as the driver refuses to stop. The Hyundai pushes deeper into traffic, changing lanes aggressively while Hall follows at high speed. Dispatch updates place the pursuit at speeds, eventually reaching roughly 130 miles per hour. Near the 28-mile marker, Hall makes the decision to end the pursuit with a pit maneuver. The Hyundai spins across the roadway, and another vehicle is suddenly caught in its path.
Jonesboro, we got a rollover. Send me 1016.
Hall exits with his firearm drawn, using the patrol vehicle for partial cover, while debris and dust fill the scene. With another vehicle involved, he must secure the fleeing driver while assessing the wider crash.
Stop moving! Show me your hands! Show me your hands, dude! Show me your hands! Yes. Jonesboro, I need some backup. There's accidents happening behind me. Walk to me! Walk to my voice!
The driver is on the ground near the wreck, but Hall keeps him covered and repeatedly checks the surrounding vehicles. The priority is control first, then determining who needs immediate help. Hall orders the driver to crawl toward him, away from the wreck. The suspect claims he was trying to reach home because his daughter was having a medical emergency, but the officer keeps the detention controlled. Once the suspect reaches the arrest position, Hall holsters his weapon and handcuffs him. Backup immediately begins checking the vehicles as the scale of the crash becomes clear. Inside the patrol car, the suspect is restrained but visibly struggling with pain. Meanwhile, outside, rescuers are beginning the work of reaching the people trapped in the overturned vehicle. Firefighters arrive with extrication equipment as Hall moves between custody and the crash scene. Two innocent motorists are trapped inside the overturned SUV, turning the pursuit into a major medical response. Hall later confronts Hamilton with the speed recorded during the pursuit, about 130 miles per hour. Hamilton continues explaining that he was trying to get home for his daughter. Hamilton now needs medical evaluation himself, and EMS checks his condition before transport. The same crash that ended the pursuit has left everyone involved needing medical attention. As firefighters continue working on the wreck, medics complete their final assessment of Hamilton. The driver is identified as 32-year-old Lloyd L. Hamilton III, who faces felony fleeing, second-degree battery, criminal mischief, drug delivery, and possession charges, along with DWI and hazardous driving charges.
Verify it's a white Mercedes.
Olympia, Washington, after an earlier traffic stop ended with the driver fleeing, a Thurston County deputy reacquired the vehicle and began a pursuit. The suspect is already moving aggressively through traffic, forcing pursuing units to manage a rapidly escalating public safety threat.
Speeds are on left lane, traffic light, right traffic. We're off at
The driver suddenly cuts toward an exit, crosses the gore point, then swings back onto the main highway. The maneuver appears aimed at breaking the pursuing officer's line of sight while maintaining maximum speed. The sedan then uses the shoulder to pass a semi-truck, leaving almost no margin between the trailer and concrete barrier. At this point, the suspect is no longer simply fleeing, they're using areas of the roadway not intended for travel.
He went through the red light, he's getting back on South 5.
Back on I-5, the pursuit reaches triple-digit speeds as the suspect continues weaving through traffic. The trooper maintains enough distance to preserve visibility while tracking the vehicle without creating another collision point.
Yeah, went to the back passenger side door now. Right now, speeds are 15 or so. Just so deputies are aware, he's cutting door points and then cutting back between them.
Copy, cutting door points and back into the exit.
He's all over the road, just driving between lanes 2 and 3 now. Speeds at 100.
The driving becomes more dangerous as the suspect starts angling toward opposing traffic. The officer warns other units that the vehicle is going head-on with cars, signaling a major escalation in the threat to uninvolved motorists. The pursuit enters a commercial area where intersections and heavier traffic leave less room for error. The suspect continues through the area at speed, including a red light violation, keeping the risk of a civilian collision high. The roadway narrows into a rural 2-lane route, but the speed remains around 110 miles per hour. Without a center divider, any move into opposing traffic could produce a direct head-on collision. Then the suspect swings onto the shoulder and nearly strikes a pedestrian.
Just want to head on with the pedestrian on the side of the road, Ridge Road. Head on with the pedestrian on the side of Ridge Road.
With the vehicle now threatening motorists and pedestrians alike, the justification for immediately ending the pursuit becomes substantially stronger. The trooper closes the distance and positions the cruiser against the sedan's rear quarter panel. With the suspect continuing to create an immediate danger to others, he executes a pit to force the vehicle out of the pursuit.
I'm pretty much on it. Very good. Everything nice.
The pursuit is over, but the scene has immediately become a crash response. The trooper moves toward the wreck while requesting medical assistance and assessing the occupants. The suspect was transported to Harborview Medical Center with substantial injuries and remained in intensive care, while the restrained passenger suffered minor injuries. Once medically cleared, the suspect is expected to face 2 counts of first-degree assault, DUI, third-degree driving while license suspended, and 2 counts of attempting to elude, along with the investigation into impairment and the earlier flight.